Hi, this is Gary from Texas Zone 8B. Today we're going to be planting some sweet potato slips the way I always do, or the way I've been doing the last couple of years. I plant my Irish potatoes in, around February 14th, and then once I dig those up, I come back and plant my sweet potatoes on top of them. You can do that because they're two separate plants. Your Irish potatoes is in the tomato family, the sweet potatoes is in the morning glory family, so you're not getting any cross, your diseases aren't the same. Anyway, what I did in an early video, I planted the potatoes in this pot here. These are really too big, but I couldn't get around to doing it. You just pull them up out of there, and like I said, these are going to be too long, so I will cut them back. The reason for cutting them back, you don't want them too long because this plant's going to have to support itself on these roots. I do have a cup of water that I put them in. I will show you there is a different variety of them. They can have different shapes. So this is a different shaped one. Forget which one it is. I usually don't keep up with it too much until I start digging them. But anyway, I'll go ahead and pick up some more of these, and then we'll go back out to the garden and do the planting. Okay, we're back out to the garden. I planted those back out a couple of weeks ago. They're weedy, and we need to weed them. We got a good rain last night. I did heal these up yesterday, and we got a rain, so it got good moisture. I would still go back and water them in. I'm just going to plant them right now. Just make your little hole, stick them in, make it a little deeper than that. Stick them in, and like I say, I will come in with some water, because you always want, anytime that you're planting something, you want to water them in. You can go about a foot to 18 inches. Do the same thing. You do want to see, notice these got the little bitty roots on it. I could have, those longer ones, I could have cut them off, and they probably would have rooted out too. They do root readily. Yeah, they probably got a little bit too deep. But again, I'm going to pour water on it to kind of take out the air hose, and just go down there through like this. It's not hard. Stick them in. That's a little bit longer one. They seem to do okay, even when you get a little bit longer, because they like to root. I do like to plant them in the evenings, not during the day, because you messed up the roots and all that. I don't like to sit there and have them fight, that hot. You get up to 90 degrees that day. Could they do it? Probably, but that's just the way I kind of prefer it to do it. I'm kind of making a little trench so I can pour water in it. It's not just going to go off the edge. You can go down like this instead of using that. Put them in that way. A bit deeper. And you put them in kind of as deep as you want. You don't have to be super specific about it. I've made a bunch of slips. I've got plenty of slips, so it's not like I'm trying to pull the slips out for them. I'm going to run out because I got enough to plant several rows. I'd be end up giving some of those away. And these were just from store-bought sweet potatoes. They weren't anything, they weren't organic or any of that. They're just regular old sweet potatoes out of the store. So they will go ahead and sprout. Now, I don't recommend doing that on Irish potatoes. Go ahead and buy your seed potatoes with Irish potatoes, because they do carry a lot of diseases, and there's no use. I mean, the cost is minimal if you get them at a store. I mean, last year I think I got them, they were less than $1 a pound. And honestly, I think that if I would have bought organic potatoes, Irish potatoes, they would have been more expensive. Plus the fact, it doesn't even got some roots already growing. Plus the fact, if you buy anything that's not organic, they may have growth inhibitors on them. They just don't seem to do as well. Mainly it's the diseases that they carry. I don't know if really any diseases that that your sweet potatoes carry, so I don't worry about that. And buying them from they're expensive if you try to buy them. Now, If there's a certain variety you want, yeah, go ahead and do that. And then, you know, y'all notice I stopped using the stick. But anyway, I'll go ahead and finish out this row, and then we'll come back when it's through and kind of show you what it looks like. Okay, we planted them. I've done my first watering on some of these here. The reason I water them in, if you look right here, you see these holes here? That's air pockets that you get in there, and that can help kill the roots, whatever. We got an inch half of rain last night. We got plenty of moisture, but I do always water stuff in. I'll continue to water these in. If once got hose in, I'll pack some dirt around it, water it a second time. The reason I did add about a tablespoon of Miracle-Gro in that 2-gallon jug to get them kind of a jump start. And then they don't need very much nitrogen. I remember watching one YouTuber, first time they'd done the sweet potatoes, they had a really nice bed. It was all fertilized, and when they grew them, I mean, his leaves were this big around. And I remember watching the video, with my wife, I said, I bet you he ain't got very many sweet potatoes. Sure enough, he had vines everywhere, very few potatoes. So you've kind of got to have a balance. You give them enough fertilizer, but they don't need too much nitrogen. They do use a fair amount of phosphorus, a fair amount of potassium. I did fertilize them and put some extra potassium in. I think I got plenty of phosphorus from last soils test from a year ago. But anyway, that's how it does. It's very easy. You can also do them in a pot. Raised beds work really well with them. Just don't over fertilize them. You don't want to have too much fertility in them. But anyway, thanks for watching.